Welcome back to Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life radio and podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach Myrna Young, and you are listening today to 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. And today I want to use as a subject, when God chooses you, you can't mess up. All right, and I want to use the story of Abraham and his wife, Sarah, or as she was called, Sarai, before God changed her name to Sarah, as the foundation for this revelation that you can't mess up your destiny. So I want to encourage you to believe that when you have hope, that regardless of what's presenting in your life at the moment, you can't mess up your purpose and your destiny. So here's the story. So God said to Abraham, regarding your wife, Sarai, her name would no longer be Sarai. From now on, she will be Sarah. And I will bless her and give you a son from her. Yes, I will bless her richly, and she will become the mother of many nations. Kings of nations will be among her descendants. So just as God chose Sarai, called Sarah, he chose Mary to be the mother of Jesus. So you were chosen to be God's vessel. Whatever it is that you were birthed on this earth to do, then you were chosen. You know, God says, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's belly. And when you were formed in your mother's belly, you were given a purpose and a destiny, right? And you can't mess it up. So just want to encourage you on that, right? So God told Abraham to leave his father's house and move to a foreign land. So Abraham obeyed and moved around and lived as a foreigner in many places. While living in these places, he introduced his wife, Sarah, as his sister because he did not want the men to kill him to get to his wife. Now, this is where I find fascinating that we know that Sarah was around 90 years old at this time, right? And if men are fighting for her and Abraham is worried men are going to take her from him, then she was obviously got it going on. She's still beautiful and desirable. And don't we all wish that men will be fighting for us when we're 90 years old or even old, period. So, but anyway, Abraham was right in his beliefs because King Abimelech of Ger sent for Sarah and had her brought to his palace with the intention of making her his wife. But God stepped in. No one messes with God's chosen vessel. No one messes with God's purpose for you. And God couldn't have King Abimelech defile Sarah because then she would not be fit to be the mother of many nations. So he appeared to Abimelech in a dream and told him, you're a dead man. For that woman you have taken is already married. Abimelech responded that he was innocent. Abraham told him that she was his sister. God replied, that is why I have kept you from sinning against me and why I did not let you touch her. Now return the woman to her husband. So until Abimelech returned Sarah to her husband, he wanted to make sure that Abimelech didn't have any thoughts. So what he did, he released a curse on all the women of Ger, causing them to be infertile. Again, God will fight for you. No one messes with his chosen vessel. So he wanted to be sure that Abimelech did not defile his chosen vessel, the person that he's chosen to be the mother of many nations. So Abraham had to pray for these women to be healed after Sarah was returned. Right. 1 year later, Sarah became pregnant and gave birth to a son that she named Isaac. She fulfilled her purpose and destiny by becoming the mother of many nations. And God kept his promise to Abraham. He was the father of many nations. This story illustrates that whatever God's purpose has for you, if you are chosen, you can't mess it up. God will fight for you. You could go ahead and make bonehead decisions, my husband likes to call them, leave a man because he's not doing right by you, he's abusing you or something, but you leave and then you go back because better is not showing up. Well, God will find a way to get you out because he has purpose and destiny on your life. You also could give up on your child because they've gone down the wrong path and you don't believe that there's any purpose and destiny on them that is not bad. You're saying, hey, they're going to end up in jail. You're all prophesying about all the bad things, but God chooses them for a purpose. He will get to them, and turn them around and inspire them to fulfill the purpose he has for their life, because when you're chosen, you can't mess it up. So I want to encourage you, today, that even if you've gone down the wrong turn, we all come to forks in the road, and a lot of time we make the wrong exit. We have to make a choice between right or left, and we go right, and it's the wrong turn. It's like the fork in the road, and you make the wrong turn. But God can get you back on the right path because he promised. He promised. He said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. So be encouraged. You can't mess this up, okay? So I want you to take that away with you today, that when God chooses you, you can't mess it up. So I want you to go forward in confidence. I want you to go forward knowing that God has got your back. I want you to go forward knowing that God has got good plans for you and he's got your back. Just be open to hearing his direction. I hope you're inspired by this week's episode of 5 Minutes Fridays, 5 minutes with Coach Myrna, and hope to see you back next time. In the meantime, I want to invite you to join my Facebook group called Life Coach. There, that will keep you inspired throughout the week by the dozens or even hundreds of coaches that we have on the channel, including myself. So until next time, namaste.